Hey, Marie, how are you? I saw that you were out all week. Where were you? Did you take a trip or something? I bet you took a trip with your family. Am I right? Where did you go, if I may ask? Was it overseas, maybe? Did you bring back any souvenirs? Oh, I wonder what it could be. Come on, Marie, where was your trip to? You can tell me. Oh, hello, Sandra. You're getting a bit ahead of yourself as usual. I just went with the family to visit my husband's parents over in Sanford, that's all, so no souvenirs. Sorry. It was just your boring visit to Grandpa and Grandma's house. We just sat around at home and relaxed, not sightseeing or anything. Really not much to see around there except wheat fields. Oh, really? Oh, that's no fun. It's almost Thanksgiving weekend, and you went to visit your grandparents, huh? Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend we plan to visit my folks over on the East Coast. It's a bit further, so we'll stay a little longer. It's a hassle because both of us want to stay longer. We have to share our time wisely. Oh, yeah. Hey, you said your husband lives over in Sanford, right? Isn't there a big amusement park over there? Yeah, but it's like an hour's drive over there, and I heard it gets pretty crowded on the weekends. I envy you so much. You get to go all over the place. I was thinking of taking the kids there, but my folks are pretty old. They would rather relax at home. We had neighbors over for a barbecue. That was about it. Oh, really? What a waste. I heard that place was really fun, like Disneyland. A real missed opportunity. You were all there. You really should have popped over and enjoyed yourselves. The kids would have had a blast. That's why you don't have any souvenirs, huh? What a bummer. I was expecting a little something. Oh well, you sure put a damper on that. Yeah, alright. Okay, no souvenir for me means nothing for you when I come back from my Hawaii vacation. Sorry. Now we're even, right? I was planning on buying a whole bunch of neat stuff. Oh well, you really missed out, Marie. You're taking a vacation? You're going to Hawaii? Yep, that's right. This is my first time, so I'm so excited. We're leaving tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Oh, I get it now. So this is what it's all about, huh? You just wanted to tell me? Of course I wanted to tell you. What do you mean by that anyway? Nothing. Wow, how nice. Oh, sorry, Sandra. I just remembered I have to get dinner ready for the kids. I really have to go. I'm so sorry to cut this short, but we'll talk again later, I promise. Talk to you again. Bye. Yeah, okay. Bye. Hey, Sandra, are you there? Please reply. This is important. It's about your son, Kenny. He's sitting on your back porch crying his eyes out. I can see him from my kitchen window. What's going on? Did he lock himself out or something? Isn't anybody home? He seems so upset. It's getting really cold outside, so you better get him inside. I heard it was going to snow tonight. Are you even home, Sandra? I may have to go over there, you know. He's gonna freeze out there. You better get him inside right away. Huh? Relax, would you? What are you all upset about, Marie? Hey, Sandra, finally, it's freezing outside. I heard it's gonna snow later. Let him inside, the poor kid. Oh, you're talking about Kenny, right? Yeah, well, I left him out there on purpose. Pardon me? On purpose? What are you saying? What was I supposed to do? He was screaming and going on like a little monster. He insisted that I take him to Hawaii with me. Can you believe the little brat? I was going to be late catching the flight to Hawaii, so I had no other choice but to leave him out there on the porch. I mean, what else was I supposed to do, for God's sake? Anyways, I left him with that big down jacket. He'll be fine. Wait, are you saying you're not even home? Yeah, that's right. I'm in the airport limo now, heading to the airport. Almost at the terminal, as a matter of fact. But I suppose I kind of expected he would act this way. And I knew you would be in the kitchen and probably be looking toward our house right about this time. That's right, I've been monitoring you, Marie. The whole thing went just the way I planned. You planned this? What are you even talking about? I knew you'd be looking out your window. You always prepare lunch about now, and you have a clear view from that window. I knew you would see him. I had him wear that big red down jacket just in case. Worked, huh? So take care of Kenny for me while I enjoy some sun, would you? Sure would appreciate it. I'm going to be in Hawaii for a week, and I don't want to be bothered. I need some quiet time for myself with no interruptions. So I'm going to shut off my phone the whole time I'm here, just so you know. Okay then, I'm off to paradise. Take care of little Kenny for me while I'm gone, okay? Bye. Aloha. Hey, Sandra, don't know when you're going to see this since you said you were shutting off your phone. I've retrieved Kenny from the back porch and brought him over to our house. He was freezing, you know. That was no down jacket, just a red windbreaker. What were you thinking? He's fine now, but it could have been serious if I hadn't seen him. Reply when you see this, and I mean ASAP. No reply probably means your little vacation has started and you won't see this until next week. Probably sitting on the beach about now. But you're going to see this sooner or later. I can't just let you off the hook. It doesn't feel right to just let this go. So I'm going to leave a long message for you. What the hell is wrong with you, Sandra? I believe your husband is currently assigned overseas, right? He comes back once or twice a year or something? I remember you griping about that after our PTA meeting. You wouldn't shut up about it. Who the hell did you go to Hawaii with anyway? Was this one of those solo trips? I know it's just you and your son, but I really can't understand why you would leave your son all alone to go off to Hawaii for a week. And you leave your kid out on the porch in the freezing cold with only a thin windbreaker? How could you do that? What if I wasn't home that day? He would have been out there all night. This could have ended badly, you know? Did you even think that far? How can you even call yourself a mother? Are you just disguised as a mother, but in reality you're some evil monster? I talked to my husband about it, and he may be able to contact your husband overseas. When your husband returns, I'll return Kenny to his dad. So when you get back, contact him and work the rest out yourselves. That's all I have to say. Enjoy the rest of your vacation, Sandra. Looks like you haven't even turned your phone on yet. I guess you're keeping your word about no interruptions. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a daily update about your husband. We contacted him last night, and apparently he hopped on a plane right away. He's scheduled to be back later this afternoon. Just so you know, I'll be over there when he arrives, and you can be sure I will tell him every last detail about this situation. Honestly speaking, what you did was totally inexcusable. And after I do that, we leave for my parents' home and won't be back for a few days. So even if you contact me about Kenny, I won't be able to help you out. You're just going to have to contact your husband and talk it over with him. Just don't rely on me to help. Oh, and one more thing. It seems you're not only ignoring my messages, but your husband's as well. But you know what, Sandra? Maybe people already know why you went to Hawaii. And maybe who you went with. Or maybe even details about this guy. Address and phone number, maybe? You may be pretty surprised how much everyone knows. I bet some preparations are being made. But what do I know, right? Anyways, have fun, and hope all this was worth it. Hello there, Marie. How was your week? I just arrived back from Hawaii. I had such a wonderful time. I brought so many souvenirs. The luggage weighs a ton. I'm glad I have rollers on this suitcase. Had the guy loaded onto the van and off again. Better give him a big tip when we arrive back at the house. Oh yeah, and how's little Kenny? Tell him I got him a super nice gift. He's going to love it. I really don't know how to thank you for taking care of my son this entire week. I hope he wasn't a burden on you. I'll stop by and pick him up after I return. But I have to tell you, Marie, it is so nice having such a considerate and useful person living right next door. I don't know what I would have done if you weren't here, Marie. Thanks so much for this. I hope I can count on you again in the future. I bet Kenny likes it over there. Maybe he doesn't even want to return. And I heard your cooking was pretty good, too. Always standing in the kitchen like a good housewife. Oh, I almost forgot. Remember when I said I would not get you a souvenir because of that last time? You remember that, right? Well, I'm keeping my word. No souvenir for you, Marie. Sorry, and eye for an eye, right? I wasn't expecting one, so don't worry about it. Oh, there you are, Marie. I was wondering when you were going to answer. You're acting a bit high and mighty. Do I sense a tinge of jealousy, perhaps? Just because you babysat my kid for a week, aren't you being a little lordy?
Babysit? Your son's not over here. I'm not looking after him.
Pardon me, are you saying he's not over there at your place?
What I'm saying is that even if you come over now to pick him up, he's not here.
Hold on a second. You saw him on the porch, then took him in, and you've been looking after him the whole week, right? I mean, come on, Marie. You found him sitting out there on the porch. And as you know, my husband is working overseas and only comes back once or twice a year. You're the one who found him, and you're supposed to be our neighbor, for God's sake. You have a responsibility to take care of him.
I'm starting to see the picture. I figured as much. When you were in Hawaii, I sent a daily report of what was going on, but you had your phone shut off. And it seems you haven't even looked through your past messages.
No, I never read past messages. What's that got to do with anything?
I would just ask you to open up Line and check your messages for the past week, and you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. If you take a good hard look at it, you'll see that it's probably not only me, but I'm guessing there are a bunch of messages from your husband and your parents.
Yeah, well, it just seems like such a nuisance to have to answer back every time, so I just shut it off and enjoyed my time in Hawaii. You do the same.
That's where you're wrong. I am way more responsible than you. You'd rather ignore all your messages and have a jolly old time than worry about your kid or your family. I hope all of it was worth it.
What are you going on and on about? Was Kenny a pain in the butt or something? Don't take it out on me, Marie.
Just look at your darn messages, would you? You'll know what I'm going on and on about.
All right already, you don't have to get all irritated for Pete's sake. What the hell has gotten into you? What the hell is this, Marie? How the hell did this happen? How the hell did you get in touch with my husband? He's working overseas. Who told you his contact info? I certainly didn't. When you guys moved in next door, my husband was already assigned overseas. You only met him a handful of times. Did someone in the neighborhood tell you? I bet it was Miss Bennett down the street. She was always asking about my husband.
Well, what you didn't know was that my husband had business dealings with your husband. They met on occasion.
Business dealings? They worked together before? You never told me that.
Yeah, there was some business project they worked on together about a year ago. He mentioned the company and where he was stationed, so it wasn't very hard to track him down.
Are you serious? They know each other?
Yep. I really thought you knew. Don't you guys talk much? Guess you figured nobody knew your husband, huh? That's why you felt safe about going to Hawaii all alone. Or was it? Anyway, your actions were despicable. You do realize that, don't you?
Excuse me? How could you say that?
Come on, Sandra, think about it. You put your own kid in danger. He could have frozen to death that day.
What if I wasn't home and nobody found him? My God, I hate to even think about it. If someone had called the police, you could have been charged, you know. Did that thought ever cross your mind? Call the police? Are you serious? Why would anybody call the police? You make me sound like a criminal. You're lucky that there was no need for such a drastic measure. We took Kenny in. He was a bit shaken, but he was fine, and we were also able to contact your husband, so... But if the police were called, there could have been consequences. You could have been charged with a crime. To put a young child in danger like that? What were you thinking? You're kidding me, right? Oh yeah, and your husband? He said he was contemplating divorce. I would talk to him right away, Sandra. He was furious. That guy you went to Hawaii with? Yes, we all know all about this guy. Apparently, he's your boyfriend, wasn't he? The way I see it, I think you're going to have a pretty difficult time getting custody of Kenny. Sure looks like your husband holds all the winning cards. He wants a divorce and he wants custody? How was I supposed to know it would all get overblown like this? It was just a short little vacation for Pete's sake. What am I gonna do? Kind of late to be worrying about that, wouldn't you say? Hey, Marie, are you there? Please pick up. Where did my husband and Kenny go? You must know. You have to tell me. Come on. Are they at a neighbor's house? Down at Miss Bennett's place, maybe? Is that where they are? I just walked in the door and all our stuff is gone. The place is cleaned out. Where did they go? I went over to your place too and nobody's there either. Where is everyone, for God's sake? I asked Mrs. Simpson across the street and she wouldn't tell me anything. Just shrugged her shoulders. I bet she knows. Did you tell her to keep her mouth shut? I just found the divorce papers and photos showing us on the beach in Hawaii. Who took these photos anyway? Did my husband hire a private investigator? There's also a business card here for some divorce lawyer. Why? How did he find out? Why didn't you just look the other way, Marie? Not only that, my boyfriend contacted me. Apparently my husband called him and told him that I was married. He wasn't supposed to know. He just sent me a line. He wants nothing more to do with me. We had such a romantic time in Hawaii. He said he loved me, and then he drops me just like that? Was that all a lie? I can't believe this is happening to me. Where did it all go wrong? I don't want to split up with my husband. What am I going to do all alone from now on? I want my boyfriend back. After I got that line message, she evidently headed over to her parents' place, who live about an hour's drive away. I guess she's living with them now. After about a month, I heard that the divorce was finally settled. Just as I expected, her husband was granted full custody of Kenny, and she was obligated to pay a considerable amount as compensation. I also heard she had to pay the boyfriend a certain amount, too. The poor guy thought she was single and was even thinking of marrying her down the line. I don't blame him for demanding compensation. With child support and compensation for both her husband and the boyfriend, I heard she was like $100,000 or more in debt. A neighbor who knows her pretty well told me that she's living with her folks and working every day to pay off that debt. At least she has somewhere to go. I bet her folks never expected to take care of their daughter again. She apparently regrets what she did and is trying to make up for it. I suppose it's a little too late for that. Anyway, she won't be going on any vacations to Hawaii anytime soon.
My name is Maya, that very cute girl you've probably seen before. You happen to be Kendra, right? Hey, would you give me an answer, please? Who are you again? Huh?
I just told you my name a second ago. This is why I hate texting with old hags like yourself all the time. You all seem to have no idea how to frickin' read.
First of all, I'm not sure who you are, Maya. In what ways are you related to me, if at all, that would have you texting me like that?
Huh? God. What kind of annoying crap are you trying to pull here, you old hag?
So this must make you younger than me by a bit?
I am from Christian University and am a fourth-year student there. I also happen to be 21 years young. In other words, I'm a fun and outgoing college cutie still.
So you're Maya from Christian University. I see. Now, would you mind telling me exactly what you want right now?
All right. Let me tell it to you straight. I want you to break things off with my da.
Your da? What does that even mean? Are you trying to say your dad or your darling?
Darling, duh.
Okay. So then what you're getting at here is that you've been going out with my husband? And you would like for me to divorce him for you?
That's right on the mark.
And what merit is there for you to be taking my husband from me?
Well, I could tell you that I am deeply in love with him and would like to make him my husband. But I also need him so that my life out of college is smooth sailing. And, well, what better way to make my life go by so easily than to start dating and soon marry the head of the company's HR department?
The head of the HR department? Is that what you're after?
Once I've entered the company, I won't have to do a single thing in order to make a paycheck.
Can I just ask you about something, just for my mind's sake?
What do you want to ask?
Do you have any idea what you're doing telling the wife of the man you've been secretly going out with that he's been cheating on me?
Oh, right. You probably want to talk about the settlement and all that. Well, that's totally fine. I'll also be willing to give you $50,000 for the divorce as a way of paying off any settlements.
So you're assuming $50,000 will be good enough for me to feel comfortable with what's happened?
Yep. And considering that he is so in love with me right now, I thought it would be nice to pay for him as well, hence the total being $50,000. I think that amount is very generous of me and will allow me to marry him after.
Is that right? Just so that you're aware, I'm going to save this conversation for a later date, so please don't be upset if I take a few screenshots of it.
What? Why do you want to do that? All you have to do is sign the divorce papers and everything will be over with. What's the point of taking pictures of this convo?
I'm sorry to break it to you, but divorcing someone isn't as easy as it sounds. I have to make sure I have proof of the fact that my husband has been cheating on me so that this divorce goes off without a hitch. Also, in a divorce, there's things like splitting one another's properties and child support if the couple has kids. Plenty of other things, too, that have to be taken into account. So this is going to be very different than when you're just breaking up with your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Well, I guess I'll leave all that in your hands. When it's time that I can go ahead and start filling out the marriage forms, please let me know and I'll get right on it.
Huh?
See you later!
Gary, good morning. I'm on the train currently, so I can't call you right now about this.
Good morning, Kendra.
Have you already started to head to the office?
I actually just arrived here a second ago. Is there something you need from me?
Well, I have some information on one of the students from Christian University that's slated to join the company here soon. Would you be able to set some things up for her in advance for me?
Understood. Can I ask, though? Why do you need me to work on that now for you? Did you find something wrong about her that has led you to ask such a thing?
Well, Gary, there's a very high chance that a woman like her would not be a very good fit for this company. And considering that you are the head of the HR department, things will fall on your shoulders if things go sideways regarding her. So that's why I'm asking you to please prepare for her in advance.
Understood.
Also, I would like you, for the time being, to not bring this conversation we've just had up with anyone else until I say it's okay.
Why should I be doing that?
I just need this to remain between you and I for right now, so please just do as I've asked and I'll explain things in more detail later. I'll be out for a little bit now as I have a business meeting with one of our customers, and it won't finish up until a little bit after 11 today. Please keep a close eye on her from now on when she comes into the office.
Will do.
Hey, what's going on here? Why haven't you responded to me for the past few days now? Have you gotten anywhere in that divorce I asked you politely to deal with? I said that I'd be willing to give you $50,000 as part of the settlement for taking your husband from you. You should be so happy about that kind of money since you're nothing but a housewife and nothing else. Why are you not telling me anything, Kendra? You'd better get to it with that divorce while I'm still willing to give you this $50,000, all right? If you continue to try and resist, then I'm going to drop the amount I pay from $50,000 to just $5,000. Is that really what you want to have happen? You'll be letting $45,000 slip right through your fingers. Now, I suggest you hurry up and finish what's already been started. It's not like your husband loves you anymore anyway. Oh, and you better be completely divorced before I graduate college or else there will be some serious hell to pay. After I've graduated and am married to him, I'll be able to get into that company with no questions asked and will never have to work a day in my life for my paycheck. Now, I really don't want you getting in the way of any of that plan I've made, so hurry it up already. Then consider this the end of that informal offer you were given. What? You freaking bitch! What the hell have you done? What is it you want now? My job offer from Mills Central was voided. Why did that happen? You don't have any idea why something like that would happen? I don't, and that's why I'm asking you right now. This is about you and the head of the HR department. Have any guesses what's happened there? All I know is that I told you to get a divorce from him so that I could get married to him and he would be able to let me have free reign inside the office. What does that have anything to do with the offer being voided? Well, let me tell you why, Maya. From what it sounds like, you wanted to get into this company, my company, so badly that you were willing to go and start a relationship with the head of the HR department in the hopes you'd get to marry him? What? Your company? Why would you call it your company when you don't even work there? Wait, could you be a part-timer there or something? Not a part-timer, per se, but I am working in this company. Oh, well, that's a little bit strange. From what I was being told by Wallace, his wife is a housewife and doesn't work at all. Well, the head of the HR department here is single. What? Just a few days ago, he was divorced by his wife. Huh? Wait, what are you talking about? Why are you saying that like you weren't his wife or something? Wait, so this means you guys have gotten that divorce then? Oh, perfect. Thank you very much for that. Maya, are you sure you're not forgetting anything right now? Forgetting what? Didn't you start texting me because of your informal job offer being voided? Oh, that's right. I was thinking about the strange way you were talking and the divorce. But now that you've already gone and divorced him, there's no reason for me to chat with you anymore. I'll go talk with Wallace and have him go into the system and have me placed back into the company so that I can get my job there still. No problem at all. Maya, do you really feel that you're going to want to work for Mills Central? You were just going on about how you planned to use the head of HR as an easy way to get into the company. And you said once that was accomplished, things would be smooth sailing for the rest of your life, right? What the heck are you thinking you're doing right now? You already know what I'm thinking about right now. I know that Mills Central is one of the highest paying companies in the state. It's very famous for that one reason. But because the company is paying everyone so well, they probably have a very rigorous hiring process and work environment, right? That's where I had an idea. By starting my internship at this company in the past year, I could use my time there between studying at school to get to know all the really high-up people in the company. You know, the department heads and the managers. I'm very, very young and pretty after all, so there's no telling how many of them I can lure in to give me a break. Not only has this past year shown that a lot of the managers there are really into me, but I should even be able to manipulate the CEO. Once I've gotten that far up in the company, then I can have all the higher-ups hand my work to everyone else, and I can just sit around and relax, right? No one will be able to get mad at me either for that, because I'll just have their bosses fire them on the spot for it. This is going to be so easy for me, and I'll be paid very well for it. That's my plan of attack, Kendra. So you think you can get even the CEO to fall into your hands? Considering I'm such a young girl who looks so beautiful, it'll be a piece of cake. Well, I'm sorry, but said cake doesn't even exist. Huh? Oh no. Now the old hag is going to get all jealous of me. Well, I can totally understand you getting all hurt by my plan now after having your husband abandon you over a little cutie like myself. But here's the thing that's really strange to me, Maya. All of you interns that we've had working here should have been informed 2 months ago that there was a new CEO elected to take over this company. What? A newly elected CEO? That's right. 2 months ago, the former CEO of my company ended up becoming very ill. Therefore, he stepped down from his position so that he could focus on his health more. And then a new CEO was elected to take his place. Huh? Well, that's not going to change what I'll be doing. I'll still make sure that that new CEO falls into my hands and does as I say. No, I really don't think you should even attempt something like that. Huh? I happen to be a straight woman, which means I'm only into men. What are you going on about? Why are you talking about what direction you point in when I'm talking about the CEO? That's because I'm the newly elected CEO who was brought in 2 months ago. Really? Is that who you think you are? Wait, what? In other words, I'm the one running Mills Central now. Huh? Huh? Wait, what the... For about the past 6 months now, the idea of having that offer voided was already in the talks. Back when you took the company entrance exam, you completely bombed it by not even filling out the Scantron sheet. You just filled in the bubbles in a way that spelled, I'm in. Wait. No way. You're the CEO now? There is one other thing we must talk about here, and that's about the misunderstanding you still seem to have. I've never been married before, which means I was not the wife of our head of HR. What? But in his smartphone there was a contact labeled Kendra, my wife, okay? That's why I was always asking you to divorce him for our sakes. That seems to have just been the wish that he had. His wish? There were a lot of times where he would flirt with me in the office before I became the CEO, and it seemed as though he really wanted to get with me. What? Which is just gross, considering he was married at the time. And even when there were talks about me becoming the next CEO, he still kept that inappropriate behavior up. Well, it seems he's a lot like you, isn't he? I think when he heard about me becoming the next CEO, he tried even harder while flirting with me to make me his new woman, because he wanted to do the same thing as you. Become involved with the CEO romantically so that he could have free reign in the company. You see what I mean? What? Well, now that you've been able to catch up on everything, let's talk about how you won't be working in my company. You failed that entrance exam, and now your offer has been officially voided. And even had you passed the exam and the offer was not yet voided, there'd be no way for me to allow your hiring considering what you just told me. You'd become a major liability here. And as for the head of HR, Wallace, we had him removed from this company. He was removed? He continued to hit on me inappropriately at work and was also having a secret relationship with one of the interns, you. So he had to go and was replaced by someone far more reliable. Anyhow, you've been given that same fate and will not be working here either. Your offer has been voided and we will no longer have you working for us as an intern. I was only given an offer from Mills Central. So, and I'm just about to graduate from college. I see.
well, then that leaves you with only a month or so to find yourself a company that will be willing to hire you soon. Do your best, and hopefully now you know that you can't just force your way into a company by manipulating those in charge.
What?
I'm also going to warn you that there will be a settlement coming soon for you from the ex-wife of the ex-head of HR, Wallace.
What?
I wish you the best of luck with your future, young lady.
Wait, Kendra! That settlement, and the fact that I won't get any use out of Wallace anymore, I don't have as much money as you think. I'm just a college student and haven't even been working part-time to save any money up. How am I supposed to pay a settlement? Are you really saying that I'll have to pay his ex-wife for sleeping with him?
That's how things work in the real world. That's why I'm wishing you the best of luck right now, as you're going to need a lot of it. Now, I'll be going, Maya.
Wait a second. Are you really being serious about all of that? I was just taking things easy in school, passing with the minimum scores, thinking that I'd get into a company with my looks and never actually have to work. That's why I spent so much time during this last year flirting with all those higher-ups. Why is something like this happening to me? My life was supposed to be smooth sailing after I graduate.
For starters, the ex-head of the HR department, Wallace, was officially dismissed from the company today and is now no longer on the payroll. The dismissal also came without a package, and his only option was to file for federal unemployment. He also will end up having to pay his ex that settlement she's asked for, wiping out all of his savings and most likely putting him into some debt. And after 2 weeks had passed, I heard about how Maya was forced to drop out of college last minute by her parents, because she wasn't even expected to graduate with the grades she had. Her last-ditch effort was making a relationship with someone inside my company and having them hire her, no questions asked. But since that plan of hers didn't work out at all for her in the end, she's now back at her parents' house working on their farm. There was also a settlement asked for from her by Wallace's ex-wife, so she'd have to pay that off. Her working on her parents' farm was not making her enough money to pay off that settlement in time, and since she didn't have a good enough credit score or anything to get a loan, she had to get another job. That being a factory job where she now works the night shift for 12 hours before coming home to work all day on the farm. That still wasn't enough for her though, so on weekends she's working part-time at a small supermarket down the road as well, to make that extra little bit she badly needs. Because she has begun to work so many hours and only has time off to get about 5 or 6 hours of sleep, she's started to pick up the nickname hardly working by a lot of the people she's around, after they heard about how she ended up in that position. Who knows how long she'll have to hear that name for, but it'll probably stick to her until the faraway day comes that she can move out of there. But while she's still there having to work so hard, the number one thing I hope she takes away is an understanding of how the real world works, and that there is no such thing as smooth sailing for any of us.